Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are still watching the Lenovo LOL Collegiate League Spring 2017 Spring Term, and we are at 6th game for our Metro West Conference. And it's going to be the last game where everyone's just going to have fun, try and improve what they've already learned for the previous time here in this term, as well as like whip out new picks. So it's going to be we're your shotcasters. I'm Atlas, and of course with me is Vulcan, and it's going to be UST Teletigers versus DLSU Green Giants for our Game 6, our final game for today, the final game of the conference series.
And after this game, we'll be moving on to the Inter-Conference, or as I like to call it, the real LCL.
Yeah, it's really the Inter-Conference will test the best of each region, each conference against each other. So it's really, I do think that it's going to be a higher level of play. It's going to be more, it was more filtered since the conference series. So really, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a matter of who can adapt the best against the other teams.
And before we get to that, we have the winner of the Search and Win Trivia. The question was, who got a quadra after 20 minutes?
Of course, that was DLSU Zadari.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, of course, for this last game, we still have that Search and Win. To the person who answered that correctly, congratulations, you will get that mystery gift.
But how will he know he answered it correctly?
Later, we'll announce. We're still we're doing the name randomizer. So it's actually, there we go. It's going to be Roxanne Tuble, who, yeah, Roxanne Tuble will be the one who will be receiving that mystery gift. So it will be that. And of course, going to DLSU Green Giants versus UST Teletigers. It's going to be the first man will be Lulu. It's like they won't have to deal with a utility, and it seems like DLSU might be going for another very aggressive composition here.
Like the one we saw in
yeah,
G5.
So that's going to be banning out the Lulu, understandable. He can just enchant his carries, keep them alive with Wild Growth plus the Help Picks Shield. It's really an oppressive kind of support.
We're seeing a Ivern ban towards Spring.
Against Spring, because Spring used Lisa in last game, which is a high pressure jungler. Ivern as well can put out his own kind of pressure by taking away resources from Sirius. So they don't want to deal with that, and Elise will be the ban out against Sirius. They don't want to deal with that early pressure as well. So they're really wanting to push UST to these junglers that are a little slower in terms of the pressure, a little lower in the pressure, which will allow their aggressive composition to shine.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see that Anonymous has been banned, so we might be seeing a different playstyle in top lane, because gone are the, let's see,
Left B just being the Titan in the front line there. Banning out the Ari of Gopi here, which was very potent in the last game. Darius will be the ban against UST, the final ban. So because Darius, if you want these like tank and carry top laners, it's gonna have a hard time against that. Darius can just instantly be stopped and then shut down with the sheer power of that Juggernaut.
We're seeing a high priority on the Lee Sin for Spring, and on UST side, I wonder what they can get in the second phase of their picking.
It's going to be their first two picks. We're going to see how all of it plays out. It's going to be the Shen and the Graves. Graves, of course, very powerful jungler, one of the highest win rate throughout the world, solo queue or competitive. But the Shen lock-in, you always talk about how the Shen might not have enough value even with a Stand United, even with the pressure of the teleport.
Well, what I said was every time I see a team pick a Shen, they instantly lose.
That is a trend of a lot in terms of...
in the LCL scene, but not in the pro scene. That's a different story.
Yeah, that's a different story. But in LCL, the communication isn't on the same level. The synergy isn't on the same level as the pro scene. That's why the Shen sometimes might be a little late. And that second where you're not, you're too late in the channel of the Stand United means that you might lose all the value. The shield will be broken through and the teleport won't come. So that will be the risk of picking up that Shen.
That's the problem with the Shen. We fail to see teams using it properly. I mean, Shen has great map pressure, but it's all comes to the user. If you can't use it properly, and now we're gonna be seeing against a Rumble. So I hope for King's sake that he did not perform properly, not too well in the second game, where he fed the Kled, and that's how UST lost.
And that's how UST just got demolished when the Kled snowballed.
So if a Rumble
the
does
Rumble
snowball,
will be the lock-in here.
if the Rumble snowballs, what does that spell out?
If the Rumble is the one to snowball, this means that UST cannot take any objectives without risking being wiped out by the equalizer. And so then Liffy can just continue split pushing and then teleport to an objective, get the very clean equalizer, which will just shut down UST's attempts. Now the mid lane will be Gopi on that another assassin. It's going to be the Echo this time. So really still going for something very aggressive in terms of their composition. That's why they banned out the Lulu. They don't want to deal with the utility from that. They are confident that they can face off against the Karma.
Yeah, but this time we will be seeing full AP Echo.
Yeah, full
that
AP
way
Echo.
it's supposed to be played.
That will be how Echo is balanced around the full AP assassination, then Chrono Break out to escape. So that's why the Darius ban here, actually, seeing that they did want to play that Rumble, can just easily get out-rated by that Darius. So picking that, banning that out will be very good. It seems like they know what they were going for even before the pick started. And UST Teletigers is going to be the Ezreal board bot lane with Ase and Uwomi. It's going to be Bard, actually. Interesting to see how he's going to use the kit of the Bard.
Normally, when you pick an Ezreal, won't you pick an enchanting support? Let's say a Nami or a Janna?
It seems like for this one, he's going for a little more self-sustaining bot lane here. Maybe going instead for the rush of the Manamune, go for that maybe Bilgewater Cutlass, which will give him some
lifesteal with his basic shot, right?
Plus, which will allow Uwomi to roam more because he can leave that Ezreal alone. Ase can just farm safely with Mystic Shot, have a very safe Essence Shift to get out of ganks or 1v2s, while Uwomi can continue roaming around the map, collecting chimes and putting pressure in the mid lane. So that's going to be the game plan for Uwomi there.
And to our viewers out there, your game plan is to watch the stream, and if you still have hopes of winning yourself a mystery gift, please follow the stream and we will try our best to give you details and then information for you to answer the questions properly.
And of course, yeah, getting the mystery gift, you might not be fast enough to type, but to type for that, enter the mystery gift answer. But of course, you can load up with your phone if you're a Globe and TM subscriber. Globe and TM subscribers rejoice! You can buy Garena shells at www.gamer.com.ph using your prepaid or postpaid phones. So just get yourself a free mystery gift or get on your Smurf, and then if iGifts is gone, just load up that RP with gamer.com.ph and then gift your main account.
Of course, you would know how to do that. It looks like you've been doing it for quite some time.
Come on, man. Are you just calling me a Skinner? That's some quality roasts here. But we'll be seeing some quality roast. Look at that Rumble just spitting fire as we enter the rift for Game 6, our final game for the conference series. It's going to be DLSU Green Giants versus UST Teletigers. You see just spitting fire with that Super Galaxy Rumble. Just
a straight-on mid-lane approach.
It's just going to be another one of those games.
Yes. Gets caught off with 5 members. Oh, tempted. Your teammates are saying no, but you are saying yes. Let's go for the dive.
It's gonna be the Nosferatu Vladimir, the bald head, ditching the soft serve ice cream hairstyle that Vladimir usually has.
You're gonna be seeing hepatitis on the mid lane.
Hepatitis. But it is gonna be that Nosferatu Vladimir, but it seems like our teams are just having fun here with Sirius having some emote spams here, just dancing through the jungle. That's a very nice dance move.
You know what you can show your opponent? That much confidence. Flash.
Flash in.
Flash. No. Flash backwards.
Oh.
That shows like, what's up? What are you gonna do?
It's like a dance move. There we go. Vladimir with the dance moves in the mid lane. That's smooth. That's slick.
Do you have dance moves like that?
Still bald though.
Do you have dance moves like that? At least you have moves.
My only dance move is just holding my cup awkwardly while bobbing my head. That's the best dance move you can have in a party. It's gonna be the blue buff party here, while Sirius, lots of survivability in his clear because of that Graves natural knockback from the buckshot means that he can just clear that blue buff, who attacks and moves very slowly, which will help his clear a lot. So it seems like they want to focus on the top lane here and try and snowball Lithby, while Sirius will want to prevent Lithby from getting that snowball.
And let's hope that this time King will be playing properly, because on game 2 he really played recklessly in my opinion, not to mention not respecting the Kled. So if ever a Rumble does snowball, UST will have to give up their dreams of even contesting for or an objective.
So it's going to be Uomi actually.
Ooh, Zadari gets stunned up, and there is the decree proc forcing out the heal onto Zadari. He is in critical health, but we can see that Jaeger is not giving up. He does get exhausted. Here comes Spring for the count. We can see that the first blood has been popped off by UST. Some trades from Zadari with Zadari getting the double kill. A more worth.
Yeah, Zadari quicker on the draw against Ace, and really not minding that the Zadari and Jaeger did leash for Spring, so getting that all in just straight on level 2 means it's more risky for them to actually go for that. So yeah. Zadari does get the sliver of health with a double kill.
It's like this. Ace, okay, you got the first blood, 400 gold. I got 2 kills, 600 gold.
And that just puts him a little bit
and
behind.
not to mention, 2-0 looks better than 1-0.
1-1 actually, and since Ace will be stuck at 6 CS, walking back to lane means that that's a lot of experience and gold denied for him.
Yeah, he has 400 more gold, so we did see that he started with a longsword.
Straight up Vampiric Scepter, opting for that Bushwater. Here comes Sirius for the revenge gang to try and trade.
Lithby forcing out his flash. I think that's what Sirius wanted, but we can see that Lithby wants to steal, at least deal some damage to Sirius, not to make him go back to the jungle.
It's just going to be Sirius going back to his own jungle. Might go for a repeat gank, but for now it's going to be the Krugs to try and get, as efficiently as possible clear his way, his camps. But it's going to be that. And it seems like the Tear of the Goddess start for Ace will be the pickup here. Even though he will not have combat stats, he cannot fight Zadari with that Vampiric Scepter. But what he can do is continue safely charging that up. Continue charging that up with his Mystic Shots, just farm safely, while Uomi will want to maybe roam later to collect those chimes and help out Sarah. It's going to be the pickup here. Probably after that, he will go for the Bilgewater Cutlass.
Right now in the mid lane, things are pretty looking even, because we did see that Gulpy started with the Corrupting Potion, but goes back for a Orange Shield. But we can see that in the top lane, Darius patiently waiting in the brush side, going for Lithby. He is very low actually, in kill range on top of that.
But Spring, is it going to be...
Not even a face check, he has no idea.
Yeah, not even going to face check, but good on him to actually not face check any of that, just clearly clear out the wave so Lithby can back. So he can have his own back timer as a jungler.
Uomi really missing those crucial skill shots to land the stuns, because it's really slippery for Zadari. He does have the Relentless Pursuit.
Cosmic Binding, really hard to hit with all that. You know, Sarah just safely farming it out here in the mid lane, just constant laning. Dark Seal helping him out by giving him a lot more regeneration from his potions, means that with his range as well, being able to poke out Gulpy when he tries to CS means that he has a one wave advantage over this Echo.
Some trade-offs attempted by Gulpy does not really pay up, because no matter how much you try and slow down or chip the health of a Vladimir, he will regain it without any trouble.
You just have to all in him, which because Gulpy is level 6, he does have the potential for that.
Oh boy. Spring and Sirius just passing by each other. There is the Blast Gun play, plus he's going for the journey, and he does get stunned to the wall maybe. Now here comes Sirius for the counter gank. Spring does not spawn him at all. There was no ward suppression there. Spring is very low with the exhaust onto him with one basic attack from Ace. That would be a kill for the marksman.
Gets taken down by Zadari. That's going to be a 1-for-1. But that kill against the jungler means that UST Teletigers has a little bit more time, breathing room in the solo lanes.
So yeah, in the end, it's not about making the top lane snowball. It's now making the bot lane snowball, because Zadari is so well equipped with the Lucian.
Yeah, 3-0 right now means that he's just going to, Ace is going to have a further hard time taking the lane here, but he will be building that longsword. He will be buying that longsword plus the boost of speed to just be able to escape ganks better, have that little bit of AD combat stats, and yeah, he will be building that into probably a Vampiric Scepter to continue to survive against the poke and damage that Jaeger can bring out.
And we did see that King hit level 6, so the Standing United is ready in case of some map pressure.
And Lithby cannot cancel that, but it's all about how the timing and communication is for UST Teletigers on whether they will be able to use that Stand United properly and get the most value out of it.
I mean, sometimes you don't need to even cancel it. Let King channel his Stand United and just tell his team, hey, back away, he has Stand United, let's waste his time.
And then I'm going to push the top lane in, so that might be the way, because he has pretty respectable way to even getting the Blasting Wand to get more AP.
That's the point of knowing that you're up against a Shen, you don't even need to worry about a Shen killing you.
Yeah. It's very hard, very low kill pressure. Even with serious ganking, you saw that Lithby could just flash out easily. And even without flash, if he was positioned well, he could have just junk shielded out of there. It's going to be Spring depending on gank.
For the reposition, you can see that Sirius is there. Going for the parallel convergence. The stun does not connect, but he grabbed the shield and look at the damage from Sarah plus the Graves, leaving Gulpy with nothing.
And man, they were baited by that pool of blood, sanguine pool rather, which means that they were they're free hitted by Sirius, giving a kill for the solo laner mid lane plus the jungler, which is actually huge for these that really want their gold.
It was more of a bait type of playstyle, and I think the DLSU just fell for it, not respecting the damage of the level 6 Graves.
Sanguine pool as well means that he just dodged all of the execution damage from the resonating strike after he was hit by Sonic Wave. So that's going to be just the plan for Teletigers here. They do have a pretty decent lead here because of the CS difference and as well as KDA difference between Sirius and Spring, as well as Sarah and Gulpy. So it's going to be that plan here. But wow, Ase really playing with fire here in the bot lane.
He's fearless.
Yeah, he is fearless. He has heal up, but Zadari is quick on the draw. He might just able to Relentless Pursuit plus Piercing Light. But the heal shrines coming from Womi will be enough to keep him up. Plus,
yeah, he does have the sustain, but he does not have the damage.
Yeah, so but right now he's playing it a little slow. Womi not really roaming much, just staying here to put down the healing shrines for his AD carry. But that also means that his chimes aren't really there.
Oh, he does connect the stun on the convergence, and that will leave Sirius on very low health.
Seems like Sarah still wants to go for that fight, though. Look at the minimap. He's still chasing. Now here in the bot lane. Yeah, he's actually sustained pretty high.
Oh no! Very danger close, and that would be a knockoff from the Jaeger. And now Zadari bagging in, maybe a kill, but the Stand United is there. He should close in the gap. He should have just go in though.
There is no damage to follow up.
But why did King dove that, knowing that there is no follow-up damage? The Spirit Refuge is there to block some basic attacks, but it's not enough. King making such a basic mistake.
Yeah, there is no follow-up damage. Womi does not have the mana, does not have the health to follow up on that, which means Zadari just gets another free kill. 302, very scary.
Yeah, you saved your ally. Wasn't that the purpose of using the Stand United?
No need to go in. And if you were going to use the Stand United, why not use it when I mean, yes, there's lots of damage, but you should have predicted that when Asa would have been hit by that root. That's going to be serious. Oh, lots of damage.
Very low with Spring disengaging with the Dragon's Rage, but we're seeing Sarah making
the flash
way.
And the Hemo Plague.
He does close the gap with the follow belt, and there is the flash in, and he's
not hit.
Pull. That's gonna be enough, in my opinion. He does have the junk shield plus the safeguard from the Lee Sin.
So it's gonna be both of these champions just gonna push out the wave here in top lane. Oh, King really left B with a lot of time there in the top lane to just damage that. So now King wastes his ultimate, dives to his death, and now his turret is just wobbly right now with such low health.
And we're seeing that he did pick up the Cutlass, but that's going to be too late because we're seeing that Zadari very close in completing his Blade of the Ruined King.
Very efficient with his gold as well, making sure to use all of it.
Blade of the Ruined King. The top laner's name is King, so he's very ruined right now. Yeah,
especially he is a tank. So once the Light Slinger passives will be hitting on him, that's going to be a bad time for this Shen. But yes, Zadari, very efficient with his gold. finishes the Berserker's Greaves to dodge the missile shots from Ase, gets the recurve bow and the Bilgewater Cutlass, and since he has 400 gold extra, and he's confident that he will get more gold laning, he does buy that Ruby Crystal for a wee bit more survivability building into that Black Cleaver next.
So some confident itemization coming in from Zadari, but they really have to respect Jaeger on his Zyra. So if ever a team fight does happen, there will be a Stand United ready. But right now it's on cooldown. Tempered Fate does miss, so they will be calling for the gap closing. Serious, not respecting the damage from the Zyra. Yeah. Jaeger gets the kill, and now there's a teleport coming in from the mid lane. Gulpy picks up an easy kill. Same as Spring for the Dragon Rage, giving it to Gulpy for the double kill.
And that's going to give them some time here in the bot lane. I don't think they will be going for that Cloud Drake. Not a high priority Drake, but it's going to be Sarah saving that bot lane. But now that they've been pushed away from that turret, they might want to get this Drake. That will be the focus. Because might as well get it. No one's going to contest this.
It's a free Drake, just take it away.
Because they were pushed off of the turret.
And if you take this down, it will open up for another Drake. So if you have the
another Cloud Drake.
No, not yet.
Yeah. That is going to be the next Drake.
At least it will help in terms of pressure in the lane. So that's something that DLSU Green Giants can look forward to.
Now being able to get that little bit of move speed to allow Spring to rotate more. It's kind of serious trying to go for this top lane gank.
No damage whatsoever, but there is a slow. The equalizer is laid up in the floor, but Serious with the end of the line burst just completely catches Lispy by surprise.
Doesn't even need the collateral damage. That's just the power of that
he did
bridge.
hug that wall, so
that leaves him open for a instant burst coming from the end of the line. They might get this turret, but no, that is going to be a wave pushing in, but here comes Gulpy to go for the defense.
Defensive plays coming in from DLSU Green Giants, but for the minute, Ase forcing out his splash. He did get slow from the passive of the Borg, and not to mention, if you're gonna go for a Tear of the Goddess, wouldn't it be better to finish your Manamune because you can actually stack up the
faster with auto attacks?
Yes.
With greater value too. While Tear of the Goddess stacks 3 mana per spellcast, Manamune is 4, which is quite a huge actually. The bonus stacks up.
Yeah, and not to mention it's just basic attacks. You don't need to skill shot, so you actually save your mana.
But I guess the logic here is that Bilgewater Cutlass into Bork means that his early game spike is there as well. Plus he has more survivability by just sustaining in the lane. But being poked out constantly like that, with the sheer damage from Zadari and Jaeger, means that he might be outpaced. The sustain from the Bilgewater Cutlass might be outpaced by the damage of this DLSU bot lane.
Things are looking pretty good for the Green Giants with goal leads of just 2,000, but the fact that Zadari, the main player, is going to be snowballing with a 305 KDA. Not to mention, 2 turrets down already. So first turret gone for the Green Giants, and followed up, and next another turret. So that's like 200 gold extra for global teams.
It's going to be very hard for UST, but a gank on Sarah just easily gets out with a Sanguine Pool. But they can, if man, it's so difficult because Zadari is so ahead. But UST has the potential to scale out. The Graves has lots of DPS. Sarah can just become unkillable and sustain everything up. And Ase as well can just continue poking. But with the way Zadari and Jaeger are playing, it's going to be very difficult.
Going for the flat. There's the Tempered Fate. There's the dodge. But Zadari pursues into 3 members. He does get away from the Blade of the Rune King slow. Plus the calling.
Man.
Oh, the damage is not really respected on that.
Jaeger gets a solo kill against Sirius. That was so close. Very well played by Zadari there. Get the heal out and uses everything to get out of there.
Oh, there's the Dragon Range with Zero. No more Sanguine Pole. Gives the kill to Gulpy.
And this is gonna be just
2 for none. I thought Jaeger would be taken down by the Graves, but
the damage is so much.
Serious not really respecting the Zyra support's potential and the plans.
So that does mean there's a 5k gold lead in the hands of DLSU. The map control lead as well. They have the vision. They have the turret advantage, which means they can roam around a lot more without fear. Ase, oh man, has to recall here. Seems like he won't be caught out.
Oh, Gulpy expecting something. Will he succeed? No.
Too slow, but Yeah, Ase has to get out of there, get out of dodge, because he's just going to get more behind if Gulpy gets a kill onto him. And really, I've not been seeing King make a lot of impactful plays with the Stand United. And really, at this level of play, the collegiate level, I haven't seen Shen with lots of success.
Yeah, no surprise there. I really think that every time I see a Shen, the team would lose. Almost a 90% chance, or 99.9% chance.
So it's really about that. Might go for a 3-man gank onto Zadari here with a dive. But Zadari just fearlessly keeps going for the farm. Here comes Jaeger though. Oh.
Face check to his death. The shutdown goes to Sirius.
But man, that was a support with a killing spree.
The only time where a Shen would actually work is when there's great communication plus pressure that the top laner knows how to bring. And I think King does not have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been successful with this.
He depends way too much on the jungler.
Yeah, and as a top laner, you have to be sustainable, and the jungler has to supplement you, not a crutch. So it's really something. It's not a babysitter. So I think that's one of the things that UST has to work on. Very few teams at the LCL, the collegiate level, can pull off a Shen. With the communication, the shot calling is required. So really, it seems like that's not yet on point here for UST. For the next term, I mean, they're not gonna get it.
They're not gonna get happening so well, but we have to expect that. I mean, this would be the last stages of the conference series, moving on to the inter-conference. So I hope that the next term UST makes some proper adjustments, maybe to the roster or maybe to their playstyle.
Yeah, and just improving their communication as well would be the most basic solution to the problems that they face in the spring term. Because that's right. Yeah, King getting beaten down like this, not being able to put so much pressure with the Stand United with his teleport means that it's very difficult for UST to make these plays because Lithby and other top laners that UST faced had more pressure.
Yeah, most of the time, every time we see King face the top lane, majority he actually always loses and really calls in the jungler. But in fact, it's supposed to, when we see that happen, how the Green Giants respond to that is instead of going to the top lane for Spring, leaving Spring to the bot lane, knowing that UST Tigers they're investing so much in the top lane, and
really,
know that a Shen won't do much in the late game.
Yeah, and Shen not really working out for them indeed. So what happens here is that it's a top laner should not be just calling for the jungler, but also should be able to put out its own pressure to help out the jungler.
Call in the teleport plays plus the Stand United.
Well, he should be the one to be helping the other laners, but right now he's the one who needs a lot of help.
More of a parasitic relationship going on in the ranks of UST's Tigers teams right now.
So it's just going to be that. That is something that they can work on. The side of DLSU, it seems like they're so clean here. The rotations from Spring.
There's the red carpet for the clear. Ase, very
so
low.
Damage. It's going to be Gulpy now trying to go for the dive.
Maybe a bit too ambitious.
Sarah there for the cutoff. But that is the second tier turret in the bot lane for DLSU. More gold for them, extending their lead to 5.2k.
And now the Baron is live. Another objective for both teams to try and take for their own benefit.
Seems like they might transition this into just clearing the mid lane waves. And they are going to contest this blue buff. They do not want UST to make use of any of the resources in their territory, but they call it quits.
I don't think so.
Oh, never mind. Gopi is still looking for this. He has sizable amount of burst. He can't take out this blue buff, but it's going to be the smite.
Smite always beats out any type of damage. So right now, with that's sort of a dance going into the blue side, we're seeing Gulpy might go
for something here.
Trying to work with something for Sarah. He does beat up the time reminder. The Proto Belt is there to close in the gap. The Temper Fade, misses again. So no follow-up expected from the UST Tigers.
There were a few points in that chase where the ghost of the Echo for the Chrono Break was in a position to take out lots of burst against Sirius, but does not opt for that. Instead, even though Jaeger was there for the support, so lots of restraint.
Oh, look at Acer forcing out his flash. He used.
Oh, True Shot Barrage hits wide, so it's gonna be Zadari.
Oh,
putting wailing on his top lane.
missing his Sonic Strike, so it will be just a matter of trying to chip away that turret's health.
And it seems like they are succeeding here because there's so much pressure. It's going to be Lefty or just 1v2ing here at this point.
The
Yes,
equalizer is there
out.
to cut off the escape, but that just makes their escape more narrowed down to Seraph. Going for the flash,
Oh.
but not respecting the Thunder Lord's decree onto Goblin. See, that's how it's played. A full AP Echo is more rewarding. Very well played.
And this just gives a lot more time for DLSU to take this top lane turret. Ase does not have enough damage or wave, no wave clear at all from Ezreal to try and take this away.
Right now, I think Ase just dug his own grave, because going for the Tear of the Goddess next to a Blade of the Ruined King, you're from the late game damage that the Ezreal does bring, further down to, let's say, the 40-minute mark, so you will have to wait for him to even stack up the Tear of the Goddess, but I think it's fully stacked right now.
He will just need to finish that off, but he is trying to go for that Sheen, might go for the Iceborne Gauntlet. Trinity Force would be more effective.
Very confusing itemization coming from that Ezreal.
Because he's not even finishing it off into full items. He would have, if he's gonna go for that Sheen, it would have been more effective to build that Manamune to get that extra AD from having so much mana, which might actually be better than the Sheen proc.
It's really weird to see that despite the ganks coming in from the top lane for UST, Lisby really did not mind the pressure, because right now we're seeing his itemization, more pressure, more damage, and right now we're seeing from that burn from
Sarah.
the Leandri's Torment.
And that's not enough.
We'll be expecting Kings to making the taunt place. He does connect, and he could not even survive. And right now here comes the collapse from the Echo. He did manage to finish the job for his teammates, but right now there is an opening for the Baron.
Yeah, the trade-off for that was 1-for-1. They lose a very big DPS, and
Alright.
Gulpy is just pulling a lot of aggro, and he will actually survive.
Yeah,
Jaeger
just
has
wasting
them.
time for UST.
And that's going to be uncontested because of how
Oh
DLSU
boy.
distracted him. Might even go
The
for more
stun
kills.
does land,
Oh man,
and that's very close range to kill, but the the Graves just outbursted the Echo.
but
with
this does
the
give them the Baron.
end of the line, yeah.
That's going to be DLSU pulling out a lot of power plays on that Baron, distracting UST away, giving that. So that means that this is very safe Baron. Took quite a while, but still, this is going to be easy pushing for DLSU. But of course, they might run into the same problem. Zadari only has 500 range. That might be an opening for UST because they have a lot of burst coming from that from Sirius, as well as Sarah's sustained damage. But from the way he's been playing, he seems still untouchable.
So right now, Lisby can actually bait in the aggro with his Zhonya's Hourglass.
Being able to just dodge himself out, give him a few more time. Free Flame Spitter with in the middle of the team without being damaged. So that's going to be the pickup for Lithp. Let's see DLSU with Zadari fearlessly leading the charge of these minions, just kind of frontline for this bot lane.
Looks like the Cloud Drake is paying off right now. The Aloe speed, movement speed combat is really useful when you want to pressure all lanes.
Yeah, the one Cloud Drake isn't very impactful, but two actually gives them a lot of freedom with their movements and rotations.
And right now, the Ocean Drake is live.
And Zadari has been running out of mana while pushing these turrets, and the Ocean Drake will help that a teensy bit. That teensy bit might actually be the one to break the bank and just open these turret pinatas of gold.
And most likely, the Ocean Drake is more of a late game stat, in my opinion, where you can stack enough health, enough mana.
To just make use of a lot of... imagine that all of that health converted to potions. And because it also regenerates mana, let's say it's corrupting potion stacks. So that's a lot of gold value.
And now the Blue Wolf is in the hands of Zadari.
Man, now he's never going to run out of mana for the next few minutes. So it's going to be just them pushing in these waves. Right now, they are quite split in how they do this, but it's always Zadari, the one pulling a lot of pressure into these side lanes. He has Jaeger as well to protect him with loss of damage.
And we can see that Sarah making his presence shown, but I think this is where we've seen UST Tigers fall off. They do not know how to split their teammates equally in terms of power, defensive, to really fight off the pressure coming in from the enemy team.
That's really one thing that they need to work on as well, on top of the list of things that we mentioned earlier. Because now DLSU is just all across the
macro
map.
play. I mean, again, they're denying turrets and objectives.
And it's going to be 4. So it's a 1-3-1 stack here with Jaeger just rotating between mid lane and bot lane. Then they have the freedom to do that because UST, they know UST is stuck in their base. So that means that Dari can also easily just get out of dodge because he can just escape from a lot of ganks with a Bork active plus the Black Cleaver movement speed. So this is really a very effective rotations coming from DLSU. And it's really costing UST a lot of resources to try and just deny these pushes.
We're seeing that Zadari is really committing towards this bot lane.
I like this. I really like how once they had a lot of pressure in the top lane and mid lane, they transitioned it into going with Zadari to safely push in a lot of health
look at
from
that, two lanes being pressured, and they don't need to really split up their members. And right now, members of UST will really have to back away, but I don't think Gulpy and Zadari will have a hard time because they do have the Ocean Drake and the Puka.
And they can just constantly regenerate that by pushing away from the turret, and then it just refreshes all of their health.
And now we can see that Liftby, Resources champion, just abusing his advantage. Parallel Convergence is up and down for Ward of Sirius.
Oh man. USC has a lot of wave clear, but with the shields that DLSU have, it seems like they just want to go in there and backdoor these turrets.
This is just like a ticking time bomb for UST.
Seems like it's just hammering every single nail into UST's coffin.
UST finishing off for the turrets. We can see that Gulpy repositions with the Chrono Break, building out Sirius, but there is the Zonian prop from Gulpy. He will be taken down by Sirius, and now you can see that Zadari is in critical health. Will try and kite out King. See, King can't even do much because the Blade of the Ruin King is dealing so much damage. And Liftby with the Zonias and the Flame Splitter takes down 2 members. And right now we can see that Zera overcommits, but still takes down Zadari.
That's going to be a 4-4. 3, I believe, actually 4-4, and in that everything happened. Jaeger, Zadari almost repeated the same instance from last game where he was so low health, but with a Bork lifesteal and Spring shielding him up, lets him live through. Of course, Sarah of course has his own sustained damage, so gets the revenge kill against him. But still, that is turrets for
this
DLSU.
time he didn't have his Void Glimpse. So.
Yes, the Void Glimpse would have been another Void Glimpse on Zadari. The AD carry Void Glimpse strat.
Start the new trend.
Start a new trend. Challenge what you know. Leave the top laner out of this Rift Herald pit. It's the AD carries now. But unfortunately for DLSU, they did not have the time and the opportunity to take that Rift Herald away early in this game.
And right now, looking at Zadari's itemization, he did pick up the Executioner's Calling, really wants to duel out sustain coming in from Ace.
And Sarah as well, the Vladimir being able to just sustain out. The Executioner's Calling will just straight up shut it down when he goes into a duel with him.
It's not just the Ace, it's also the Vladimir. Wow.
Yes. So
plus the heal from the Bard.
So there's a lot of things that they want to cut down.
A very worth invested item.
And it's just 800, around 800 gold, so really easy pickup for him. Seems like he's just going without the Baron buff now. They might have a little harder time pushing because Zadari as well, 500 range champion. They will have to make some play with these. But with how DLSU has been playing this, they have the capability of putting out so much pressure that the Zadari gets some free time with these turrets. We just have to wait for it to happen here. UST might be able to get the same play that they were able to just catch DLSU committing onto the tower, split apart, and then take them out one by one. But that cost the UST a lot of resources last time. We're going to see how it all plays out here.
Magical Journey is opened up, but no one's going to take that. Knowing that the inhibitor in the bot lane is exposed, so we can expect the Big Giant will try and make their way into the bot lane.
Liftby just really trying to harass UST to keep them away from the push.
Zadari barely.
Very close.
Barely just dodging away that taunt.
It's going to be the 2-3 configuration for this
split look
push.
at the Calling dealing so much damage. And again, King missing his second taunt.
The Shadow Dash just being cut short there. Not hitting the target. Now that's 3 minutes. Look at how much damage with a Light Slinger.
And Sarah is actually below 50% health. Half of his health is chunked away from Liftby.
Just that burn, really painful. And because it's consistent damage, Sarah cannot really dodge huge chunks of it with Sanguine Pool. It's just going to be the wave clear here.
Oh, look at Sirius soaking up that burn from the Leander's Torment.
And Lethby doing so much here to keep the health of UST Teletigers down.
Redemption is there, but I think this is for them to save time in case of a Fountain Trip. But again, +3 skill shots missed from the UST Teletigers.
Oh!
Was able to burn out, to burst out Jaeger, but the Equalizer was misplaced. But knowing Zadari is in very critical health, he backs away. Without their marksman, they can't deal much. And right now, this is a fight for UST Teletigers to wrap it up.
And there's nothing for Zadari to lifesteal from at this point, except maybe the Skull Crab, but they will get the third Cloud Drake.
Oh boy.
And at this point, the movement speed for the Cloud Drake is actually huge. 1 stack, not very impactful. 2 stacks, respectable. But 3 stacks? That's just going to make their rotations, their on-point rotations of DLSU even better. And Baron is live. Pings are going on that is their next target. And we can expect a big fight to happen right there in the pit.
And right now, here is the Search and Win trivia link. So, follow the link, answer it correctly, and hope for the best that you are the first one to answer the question.
Just got to get those fast hands, type it down, and fill out the form. But it's going to be, instead, yes, everyone converging around the Baron pit, trying to establish some control over it. But DLSU is favored in this opportunity.
Right
they
now,
are blue side.
Right now, in my opinion, Zadar can sell his boots. And since there are 3 Cloud Drakes in the hands for them, plus the Phantom Dancer speed boost and the Phage speed boost,
just really dodge at everything. Maybe save that item slot for more damage or even a defensive item.
You can maybe expect the last whisper will be consumed by the Executioner's Calling, but maybe a Bloodthirster.
The Bloodthirster
or a
for
Death
even
Dance.
Death Dance or Bloodthirster both going to help him a lot, but with the way that he's been playing very Light Slinger focused, the Bloodthirster might actually be more effective. Give him that extra shield to protect against the burst from Sirius and any more damage from Sarah. That's really helpful.
But I think the bleed effect from the Death Dance will be more powerful because he has great sustain and the lifesteal.
That's true. So either of those items will be very good pickups for his sustain. Seems like DLSU pressuring this mid lane so they have some alone time with the Baron while UST clears these waves. It's going to be looking for an opportunity here, whether it be a pick-off or just an opportunity where UST is just distracted and they have enough time for this Baron. Seems like it's going to be top lane, bot lane rather. And
UST seems like they don't know what to do, how to close the game, how to come back. Right now they're just playing the come at us, we'll defend it, and
it's very reactive, not really doing anything. I mean, yes, playing defensively and reactively is good when you're behind, but you have to always look for mistakes from DLSU. The smallest detail that can give them an opportunity, but seems like DLSU is so on point with protecting Zadari. Yeah, the macro play is there for the Green Giants. We're gonna see how they just rotate around the map so quickly with these 3 stacks of Cloud Drake. Seems like they might go for this Baron. The top wave is pushing against them. They might need to clear that so they have an opportunity, but it seems like they are trying to look for a pick-off.
Not much showing there. We can see the members of the UST Teletigers making their approach to the Baron pit, but should they go for it? I mean, knowing that UST is there, he does have his teleport.
And the Equalizer will be very painful, but right now this bot lane split push means that DLSU Lithby needs to really push in and push the pressure to the wall of the bot lane, so they can pull members of UST away from this Baron pit.
And not to mention, the Baron is live for the taking for DLSU Green Giants.
They can quickly take this. Blade of the Ruin King, a very fed Zadari, would be...
But it could be also risky.
Also risky, because they have a lot of burst, UST. And the Hemo Plague being put down means that it's going to be very dangerous.
And note that the Ezreal is catching up. He does have the Trinity Force, the Blades of the Ruin King, and the fully stacked Mana Unit.
Which has turned into Muramana. Also taking away, he also builds the Executioner's Calling to try and deny the lifesteal from Zadari, which was so helpful. It's gonna be the pincer attack maybe.
Maybe, and now Zerius is going to be the target of the Stan United, but like I said, not gonna do much because Gopi gets taken down, and Sarah goes into the Zonia. Sanguine Pool takes down Jaeger. There is the redemption. He does pick up the double kill, but we can see that Asik from the flag gets the kill onto that, and now Zadari and Spring left alone while 4 members are going in. Here comes Flash and Troll, finally by King, making the plays they need to try and turn this fight around. But look at Zadari, he does become kill. King eating up the culling damage just too much.
And that's still going to be a 3v1, though has to run away.
Asik. Oh, he goes in, changes his mind.
Dangerous business, because even with the Mystic Shots, even the Triforce passive, that's still going to be a very painful.
Yeah, he has to respect the Executioner's calling and the passive from the Phantom Dancer.
Let's look at the replay here, because this is one way that UST can actually get back to the game. Of course, Sirius brings out as much burst as he can, but Sarah is the key to this fight here, being able to get that Hemo Plague down, and being under Sanguine Pool plus the Zhonya's means that he regenerates a lot of health, leaving lots of room for Ase to just free hit here. But of course, Zadari, such a force of nature, taking out members here.
Very nice taunt play by King.
Yeah, very nice taunt there. That's one of the ways they can get value out of this Shen pick. But yeah, Zadari taking out Uomi, taking out Spring, so really painful. That is one of the ways that UST can take away this win.
So right now, the Elder Drake will be live in 25 seconds. The Baron is still up for taking. So if ever something goes really bad in the Elder Drake, that's going to be 2 objectives given away. This is the pressure.
2 super buffs, and really this is the pressure on both teams to not have a last-minute screw-up and throw the game. Because UST still has a pretty good chance here, despite the deficit. Just 5k at this point of the game isn't too small, as it isn't too big. The Drakes aren't really combat stats. They're more of out-of-combat regeneration and rotation. So, but DLSU has been playing that game so well. So it's up to UST to match that pressure or catch DLSU in an overconfident rotation, like they did earlier. This might be an opportunity.
This might be it for UST to try and take comeback from that deficit. Here comes the equalizer with King leading the charge. There is the redemption. Maybe killing up Spring, maybe not. And we can see that Serious going in from the flank. However, Zadari still takes him down. And Ase and Zadari will be trying to have a face-up. There is the 2-shot to rush.
Oh man, Sarah's gone.
Sarah's gone, and there is Zadari with a double kill, and that's going to be UST crumbling, and now a triple kill onto Zadari makes that a quadruple. Hopefully, the blast code will save King's life, but there is the Elder Drake, and it looks like Gulpy is not giving up. This will be an easy pickoff for sure. Base Dive should be up right now.
Oh man, he's just trying to predict the Shadow Dash.
Oh boy, there it is. Something that DLSU Green Giants
the dance, but in the end, yes.
Around.
That's going to be the ace, and this will give them the the Elder Drake, which
and
will
plus the Baron buff.
Imagine the out of combat move speed with that Elder Drake.
Yeah, just sell your boots.
Yeah, with that move speed, they can rotate far quicker to Baron Pit.
And now, not to mention that 250 gold.
Plus the burn as well will be very helpful in the delayed fights. It seems like UST might have had an opportunity there,
yeah,
but because Sirius was split away from the team, he was not able to contribute much. Gets just taken down by Zadari. If he had just stayed behind Sarah and King, he would have had free hits the same as Ase. But because he wasn't and got taken down, and then UST was trying to save him, but with Sarah and King rotating around to that side of the Raptor camp.
Yeah, the Baron buff is just in the hands of the Green Giants for the second time.
So it's gonna be very dangerous for UST. That 5k gold lead earlier now doubles to 10k, which means that UST now has to really break their backs if they want to catch DLSU off guard. But seeing how DLSU plays things, very calm and collected, but very aggressive as well. So it's going to be up to UST to try to find the smallest mistakes and capitalize on them. But right now, it's pretty blurry.
And right now, 41 minutes into the game, a pretty late game. Very generous of the Green Giants though. But in my opinion, I think the Green Giants did have a hard time closing the game because of the stall from the UST. They did stall pretty well, but
they did.
The stall should transition towards maybe at least a split push. The top turret is still intact, same as the bot lane turret.
Oh, it seems like Sirius and King in trouble.
Oh boy, Gulpy goes in onto Sirius Barrel. Look at the damage coming in from Gulpy. The equalizer set to the floor. Sarah goes in for a flash in, trying to take down Zadari. Fails. Chrono builds away, and now Zadari is on with the calling with King. The stunned against the wall. He can't do much, and now Zadari will be able to clean up the team fight. There is the zone yes to deny. Maybe trying for an outplay. He does make it out alive. Good play by Sarah.
But all of that damage on Uomi and Ase earlier was all from Jaeger. That was so much damage, and this just allows him to push this mid lane turret. And the reason that DLSU had trouble closing out the game earlier was they had no super solid front line, like the Nautilus that they had. So that means that Zadari will have a harder time clearing these turrets with his 500 range. So now they have to rely on these dives, these team fights, and they actually win this. But it did take them a lot longer than earlier.
The inhibitors down for UST Tigers. This will be the Green Giants going back to reset the field.
Plus get more gold. Get purchase with their gold here, finishing off the last of their item builds. Let's look at the replay at what happened earlier. King and Sirius trying to go for a flank, but there was so much damage from Gulpy that full assassin Echo Liffy dies, but he is able to bring down the equalizer. Not a lot of value, but Sarah flashes in. Actually, look at this, Jaeger. So much damage into Uomi and Ase.
Oh wow.
So that means Sarah has to back off. He doesn't have the supporting fire, the covering fire from his team. Gulpy dies, but that still leaves the rest of his team open because
King
Jaeger
was stunned by his own stand United.
He was not able to get out of there, and that just leaves the UST open for cleanup.
Looks like the Tigers didn't stand with King on that one, giving maybe 2 inhibitors to the Green Giants.
And I think that positioning there was so bad to try and go for a flank, because that means that Sarah would be the only front liner for UST, which would leave Ase and Uomi open. And because that was happening, Ase and Uomi just got bursted down by Jaeger, which means they could not participate at all in that fight. So really, UST, really the positioning there was not on point. But the biggest key to that last team fight was Jaeger. If Ase and Uomi were able to contribute more to that fight, it might have been a different story. But if the Sirius and King's position were different, it also might have been a different story. But now it's DLSU on the offensive.
Trying to find that nice timing to put the equalizer. We're seeing that there's a minion wave coming in for the bot lane, and right now we're also seeing that Gulpy is pressuring in the mid lane. So it's inevitable. They do have the Baron buff.
Yeah, they do have the Baron buff, and it's going to be waiting for an opportunity to start this team fight.
That's
it.
The initiate, they were waiting for the temper phase, will not do much. The top lane inhibitor turret will be taken down by the Green Giants. Now the last inhibitor does stand, but will they go for a reset? I don't think so.
Well, it's just going to be slowly pushing the mid lane and bot lane. Those super minions are going to be a big threat, and that actually leaves a top lane inhibitor for DLSU.
Yes, UST not going to go down that easily. Staying strong, firm in their base. This might be the last fight for UST, but look at the damage coming from Gulpy. Ase gets taken out, and now the Strangle Throw is from Jaeger.
Cool.
The Zyra support, switching to an AP at 44 minutes into the game, is paying off.
And this is going to be the last 2 turrets of UST taken down by DLSU. And for our last game of the conference series of Metro West is going to be DLSU taking it away, killing UST in their own base, own fountain. It's going to be DLSU.
So congratulations for DLSU Green Giants for showing us a nice Game 6 of the last game of the last day of the conference series. Moving on to the inter-conference, but also UST, gotta give props to them.
I want to see how much damage Jaeger did. So looking at the end game stats,
you're like, I can't wait to see how much damage Jaeger did. You're so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited because Jaeger, I think, was the key to that last fight. Second to the last fight, rather, because Jaeger has been so on point with the roots, with the supporting of it, and I think without Jaeger, Zadari would have had a harder time reaching this power spikes.
Let's see the damage. There
Oh,
it is,
man.
the one you're waiting for. More damage than Ase.
More damage than Sirius as well,
Oh,
with only
wow.
Sarah matching it.
You gotta respect that, man.
Look at the spread of damage across
40,000
DLSU. Yeah.
onto the illusion. And guys, what a conference series it was. Thank you so much for following the stream loyally. And thank you so much for the players who joined in for the LCL. We started with 48 teams, and now we will be moving towards the next stage, stage 3 of the top 3 teams and 2 teams from each conference to 16 teams. But of course, we will be having a short break because we will have the PGS promotionals next week. So to close it off, the LCL will be having a short break, giving way for the promotionals.
And of course, interconference series, the top 16, as you said, facing it off, will continue. Will start on May 6th. So just wait for that. And
take note of that date, May 6th. For me, LCL gets more competitive, more intense, and we will be seeing more high level of gameplay from the top teams who made it this far and moves on.
Of course, we have been your shoutcasters. I'm Atlas for the entire day, and with me, Vulcan, my boy. And thank you for joining us in this journey through the conference series.
It was a very satisfying last game to see.
We'll be seeing you guys for the LCL on May 6th, but next week's going to be PGS Promotionals, as we said. Thank you for watching.
I'm confused of the counter script, but again, plus 3 skill tests from the UST Tigers. Was able to burn out Jaeger, but the equalizer was misplaced. But knowing Zadari is very critical health, he backs away. Without their marksman, they can't kill marksman right now. This is a fight for UST Tigers to wrap it up. And now Sirius is going to be the target of the Stat United. But like I said, not going to do much because Topi gets taken down. And Sarah goes into the Zonia Sandwich Pool. Takes down Jaeger. There it is. He does pick up the double kill. And you can see that Aztec from the flank gets the kill on that. And now Dari and Split left alone. Wow, 4 members are going in. Here comes Flash and Code. Finally by King making the plays they need to try and turn this fight around. But look at Dari, he does become kill. King eating up the calling damage just too much. It's for UST to try and come back from that deficit. Here comes the equalizer with King leading the charge. There is the redemption. Maybe killing up Split, maybe not. And you see that Serious from the flag. However, Zadari still takes it down. And Ase and Zadari will be trying to have a face-up. There is a 2-shot to run.
Oh man, Sarah's gone.
Sarah's gone, and there is Zadari with a double kill, and that's going to be UST crumbling. And now a triple kill onto Zadari, makes that a quadruple. And hopefully the blast code will save.
Serious is King in trouble.
Oh boy, Dumpy goes in onto Serious Barrel. Look at the damage coming in from Dumpy. The equalizer strips the floor. Sarah goes into the flash in, trying to take down Zadari. Fails, total guns away, and now Zadari is out with the calling with King just stunned against the wall. He can't do much, and now Zadari will be able to clean up the team fight. There is the zone yes to deny. Maybe halfway. He does make it out alive. Good play by Zara.
All of that damage on the wounded Ase was all from him.
I'm not gonna go down that easily. Staying strong, firm in their base. There is. This might be the last fight for UST. But look at the damage comes from Goopy. Ase gets taken out, and now the stagger flows from Jaeger. The Zyra support. Switching to an AP at 44 minutes. The game is paid off.
This is going to be the last 2 turrets of UST taken down by DLSU. And for our last game of the conference series of Metro West is going to be DLSU taking it away, killing UST in their own base, own fountain. It's going to be DLSU.
So congratulations for DLSU Green Giants for showing us a